Hello and welcome back to the BU podcast. My name is Imogen.
And I'm Rylee.
And today we are interviewing a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Joe. I'm non-binary, pronouns they, them.
Lovely. So let's just get right into it. How are you, first off?
I'm doing great. You too, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very good,
Thank you for
Excellent.
asking. Yeah, really nice. How are you finding university at the moment?
So far, so good, yeah. I mean, it's only been a couple of months, but so far, excellent.
Yeah,
so
you
hoping it's going to be good for the remainder of the 3 years.
What do you study?
I study media and communications.
Media and communication.
I like that. You enjoying it?
I am enjoying it, yeah.
Awesome.
What does that like contain? Like, what actually is media and communication?
That's a question that most people ask that I can never really give a good answer to. But it's like, it's just sort of like advertising and studying films and theoretical basic, all that like media. That's probably not a good explanation, but that's about as I can do.
No, I kind of get the gist.
Following. Yeah.
So this episode, we're going to be talking about being a non-binary student. So, first off, would you like to explain what non-binary is for our viewers?
Non-binary is like not identifying yourself as either like a man or a woman. It's like the area in between that, as in not one of the binary options, non-that, you know. That's sort of like the etymology. Yeah, that's a word, yeah.
Yep.
I can't think of anything else to explain to it really, but
Yeah, it's just kind of like that.
It's a type of transgender, but sort of instead of like changing from male to female or female to male, you're just sort of deciding to be neither. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And my lovely co-host here, Rylee, is also non-binary.
Yes,
so yeah, you guys can tell me.
We can riff.
Yeah. What does gender mean to you, Joe?
I think it's like the sort of psychological states that people assign to either male or female, and especially like gender roles and things like that, in which I don't think, by my own belief, they should have like such a big focus on the modern world. And so like things like clothing and jobs and personality, that you have like either masculine or feminine traits, to me that's sort of like gendered, and to me that's sort of like not necessary for me.
Yeah, get it.
I agree. Like, I always see gender as a performance. I don't know if you see that as well, but it's like, I'm quite effeminate in the way I express myself and my hand gestures and stuff, but I don't see myself doing that as someone who's been brought up as a woman. I see myself doing that almost as like a camp man. And it is this kind of performance of, this is who I am, but it's not how you're perceiving me to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just like a word jumble, but that's what it is to me.
A word jumble, brilliant. Lovely. So you're in your first year?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So you've been here for a few months now, settling in nicely. Why did you choose Chichester in the first place?
Very simply, it's near the coast, and I quite like the sea, so it's nice to be able to get on a bus to Bolton and just see it, you know?
Yeah.
That's basically the only reason. I'm sorry, but I'm just sort of, but I'm also like glad of like, obviously, it's quite a friendly university, it's small, it's not like too chaotic, but then it's also not like completely like basic, like work focused the whole entire time. You've got the nice mix of being able to have a social life while also being able to do your course without them two fighting for each other.
Yeah, where are you originally from then?
I'm originally from Orpington, which is a town in southeast Greater London.
Oh, lovely. So not near the sea?
Not near the sea, no. Unfortunately not, no.
How has your experience in general at university been so far?
It's been pretty positive, to be fair. Like, I didn't expect myself to get along this well, but I'm really enjoying like every aspect of it. So yeah, it's been good.
It's brilliant.
It's been brilliant.
Did being non-binary affect like your choice of university?
Honestly, no, it didn't. Mainly because I've been like non-binary for like only like 7 months or something, so I haven't like known exactly what it is, which is probably why I've been so about explaining it for the first bit, but you know. But I am sort of glad that I did come to this university, because it was pretty obvious during the summer, in which we're filling out the forms, and it automatically puts Mr. as the title. And so I messaged them saying, is there anything you can do to like not had that there. And they're like, oh yeah, this thing, I don't actually know how to pronounce it, but MX. Is it like mix? Yeah. I mean, that sounds like being attacked by a whisk, but you know, I don't. But yeah, mix or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, they said, oh yeah, we can do that. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know about that, but that's like perfect for me. So yeah.
No, I didn't know about that. Is that just on like forms?
Yeah. So instead of Mr., Miss, Ms., you'd have mix. So MX.
Oh.
Mix. Yeah.
Is that on like most kind of applications?
Not yet.
Not yet.
There's one of the application I filled out that had it on like after I did the university application.
Yeah.
But so far, I've not seen many do it.
It's really
slowly
good.
catching on though.
Slowly catching on. So you were not. Did you say 7 months ago?
About March, April this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I've displayed non-binary traits since like 7. Like I always refuse to read any books that had 4 boys at the end. Because like, no, thank you. Why does it have to put that at the end? It's just a book. But you know.
How has it been since knowing that you were non-binary?
It's good to actually have an identity that I'm like, oh yeah, that makes perfect lot of sense. I can now do what I want to do without feeling like I should not be doing it because, you know.
Yeah. That's lovely. When did you know that you were non-binary, Rylee?
I think I realised when I was like 17 that I was, and then I came out at 18 and I like changed my name and people started using they them pronouns for me. And I was from watching a documentary called Genderquake, and they just put loads of gender diverse people into one house, and there was this one non-binary person in there, and I was like, oh, that's me. Yeah. And I was just like, it all makes sense. But yeah, so it's been like 5 years now since I've known, but since being at uni, I think it's the only time it's been respected that this person is non-binary, not just someone who is a bit boy-y.
Yeah, a bit boy-y.
A bit quirky.
Yeah, a bit different, indeed.
Yeah.
Has the uni experience been good for you as well, being non-binary?
Yeah, like, I think the conversations I had, people aren't scared to ask, like, oh, can I just quickly check your pronouns? Which that one conversation can, like, change the course of your day. And I think there's quite a lot of lecturers here who are aware of people being non-binary and are respectful of it. By no means is it perfect yet, but I think Chichester in general is a very accepting place, and that's why I like it.
Yeah,
I agree there, yeah.
Do you think that the university is kind of improving its inclusiveness for non-binary people? Like, is it kind of growing, getting there with like being more inclusive?
I mean, I've only been here for 2 months, so I can't really say how much has changed because I haven't really seen much, but definitely from like previous experience of like other schools and workplaces and things like that, definitely like a massive jump to coming here and thinking, oh my gosh, they actually do care, like you're saying earlier.
Yeah, I have, like you were saying, I have kind of heard more people asking, just different people, what your pronouns are, just asking like, oh, can I ask your pronoun, like what your pronouns are and everything, and I think that's really good. I definitely make sure that I do. And like on Instagram and stuff, like you put your pronouns in your bios. And we were saying about how some teachers, they put it on the end of their emails, what their pronouns are.
I have seen, that's very like a great change really, yeah.
It's catching on, and I've been working with like the Vice Chancellor group at the uni as the LGBT officer, and we're getting there, and I think it's now we've got the people higher up actually understanding and realising why it's important. It's catching on to the rest of the university, and I say catching like it's a disease, but there's like people around the university are actually like going, oh, we should be doing this, and that's going to then spread to the students, and I think it's just going to all in all become something that's just normal, and it's going to be fine.
Exactly. It's one of those things that it's like, if you haven't experienced, it's like if you don't experience something yourself, then you don't always understand. But the fact that people want to understand and actually want to ask questions and everything, like me, I'm not non-binary. I'm just. You just went what?
Congratulations.
Well, that's one way to make the podcast a bit more interesting if you came out like non-binary just now, but you know.
No, I'm not non-binary. I identify as a woman, but I love. But I like asking questions and getting to know what it's like, and you know, if you don't understand something, then just asking. It's like Because,
Yeah.
like, do you mind people asking questions if they don't understand?
I don't mind people asking questions. I think there's a way in which the questions should be asked.
Yes.
But actually, like, I don't mind educating people. Sometimes I'm not in the right mindset, and I'll just be like, look, I'll talk about it to someone else, and I have to put my own barrier up. Same with everything, really. Like, if you're not in the right headspace for it. I think education is power. Like, people need to ask the questions to be better. Do you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I mean, most people just ask me what pronouns are. I don't think I've got any like really bad like borderline transphobic questions yet. But like, it is nice to know like someone like, oh my gosh, what's your pronouns? And you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think that of anyone would actually ask that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think people like important things that people need to learn about non-binary people? Do you think there's anything important that people need to learn?
Firstly, definitely that they is a singular pronoun. Some people don't seem to understand, especially my parents, but it's definitely a single pronoun. It's been used for 500 years or something like that. So, calm down. It's a single. And also got a few people think that non-binary is the same as being gay, which, I mean, I'm bisexual, so I don't mind too much, but it's still a bit annoying that they just seem to see that your sexuality and your gender is the same thing.
Yeah.
As if, because it's both in the LGBT community, it must be the same thing or something like that, but it's, it's not.
Is there anything that you feel needs to change about how people go about, or how that people need to do to allow you to be more yourself?
In terms of like things changing, I think more gender-neutral bathrooms need to exist, because sometimes I get really scared, especially like in Wetherspoons and things like that, walking into the males' bathrooms and thinking, well, from where I'm from in London, Wetherspoons is not the most safe place. So, but I've seen gender-neutral bathrooms in university, and so that is catching on. But maybe if the SU has one there, because using them in there sometimes also gets me a bit worried, because I'm yet to really understand how drunk people are.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
how they might react to me wearing a skirt in a male's bathroom.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, the bathroom situation, I always assess by safety. Like, if I usually always feel safer going into the like women's toilets, just because I know if I go into the men's, I don't want to be, I don't know, I feel like I'd be more scrutinised in there. But then if I'm in like, I don't know, Brighton in like a really inclusive club, I would feel safe going into either. And I would just like there to be the neutral option. I don't want to have to panic about whether if I go in the ladies, I'm going to get questions, I'm going to get stared at. Or if I go into the men's, if I could be subject to more harm. Like, it's just having that option of just being like, I can just go to the toilet in peace and not have to worry about this.
Yeah, because it should just be an easy thing to do.
Balloon.
Yeah, literally, it's not a hard thing. No. Like, you shouldn't have to be worried or scared to go and use the toilet.
No,
So.
I mean, the new nursing block here at the university have completely neutral bathrooms, and they just have a sign outside saying, a sign on the door which just says what's in that cubicle, rather than saying this is a man's toilet. It's got urinals in it. Like, it's just saying what it is, so anyone's free to use it, whatever suits that person.
Yeah, definitely.
It's great. Yeah,
definitely. Why do you guys think that it's important that people use their pronouns when introducing themselves or using them on social media? Do you think that has an importance to it?
I think it normalises it.
Yeah, definitely.
And at the end of the day, like, I mean, I go by she, they, I don't mind either or. I prefer they, them majority. And I think just by someone asking what I use, I can tell if they're maybe intentionally misgendering. I don't know if I can identify if it's more of a violent thing. But it just makes you feel safe just talking about it. And when someone else has theirs on display, it kind of is like they're a safe person to talk to. They might understand what's going on. So, yeah, that's what I think is important.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think it's obviously a good idea, because it's quite awkward to mention halfway through a conversation, oh my god, my phones are they?
Yeah.
And they sort of turn to you like, right. And this will try to go back into the conversation, not really knowing what to do with that information.
Yeah.
And like, it's also very awkward to correct people. Like, I don't mind people using wrong pronouns, because I can't use my own pronouns in my head sometimes. If I'm ranting at myself in third person, I will forget. And I will just sometimes like once I used they and actually like hugged myself like that just because I was like, oh my gosh, you remembered myself.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, obviously, because trying to correct people, you feel sort of bad.
Yes. Yeah.
But then it's also, and then most people I do correct, they then go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, like, I wasn't trying to be hurtful or anything, I just forget, and it's quite hard to get into it and all that stuff, and I'm like, I completely understand that. And it's just quite awkward to go through that whole entire conversation of, I'm sorry, I'll try better next time. When, you know, you don't really hate the person for accidentally doing it. It's just, you know, I think if people more understand that they is a singular pronoun and that they can be used quite easily, I think more people will respect it in sort of like the sense that, not respect, understand it, and then be able to use it in conversation properly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you find like slipping up, like even if I know someone uses they them pronouns, I still slip up, and I think it's just because you know we've been conditioned to just use he and she like our entire lives, and I even beat myself up over it, even though I know I'm doing my absolute best.
Yeah.
If it's strange.
Yeah, but like no one should feel bad for correcting someone on pronouns. That's why it is so important that everyone kind of starts addressing their pronouns and using their pronouns, because no one should feel bad for saying actually sorry, but I refer as they, them, or he, she, or whatever. You shouldn't feel bad for doing so. So I think that's a really good reason why it should be completely normalised to start using pronouns. What advice would you give to someone non-binary that is starting university or coming to the University of Chichester? Do you have any advice for anyone?
Firstly, just literally be yourself. Like, say your pronouns, dress however you want to dress, have whatever name you want to have. Just be yourself, and if the university, for example, doesn't seem to respect that, then just honestly drop out, get into the university. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to not really research it and come to a university that really does respect everybody as a person and everything. But I think that you obviously need to, if you don't feel comfortable being yourself at university, or if other people are making you feel uncomfortable at university or whatever, just sometimes, as bad as it says, sometimes things won't change as quickly as you want them to be, especially if it's the establishment. And so sometimes it's definitely better to find a different solution where you can actually enjoy your university life.
Yeah, definitely. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it is the tagline of the uni, but like, just be you.
Yeah.
It's we are very lucky, and I think we've got quite a thriving community here of people who identify in all different sorts of ways, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant, and no one is singled out for being, that's the non-binary person on campus, because actually there's quite a lot of us. I think it's just a safe place to be. Yeah.
Amazing. What would you guys like listeners to take away from this episode?
I think that in general, a lot of people have this idea of non-binary being, I mean, I've been told this before, but like I'm woman light, as in like I'm the lighter edition of a woman, but I'm not a woman, and people still perceive me as a woman, which is understandable by the way I look, but it's, if someone says they're non-binary, you just need to like scrap that idea of what you had of them in your head and approach them as such. Like you do have to challenge your own ideas, but you should enjoy the challenge. Like it's going to open your eyes to so many more incredible identities and people if you just challenge yourself and learn about it. Yeah.
Can't really think of anything better to say than that, so
Said perfectly.
Period.
Period. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we wrap this up, Joe?
I don't think so. Just be yourself, and gender is whatever you want it to be.
Lovely, amazing. Thank you so much for listening, guys. If you want to join the conversation, we have multiple social media platforms that you can join us on. We have Instagram, which is at the University of Chichester. We have TikTok, which is at the University of Chichester, that we are going viral on, can I just say? So you might want to join that conversation ASAP. Twitter, which is at ChiUni. Email is studyhere@chi.ac.uk. and join the conversation on #ChaiUni.
Beautifully done.
Thank
well
you
done.
so much. That was completely off the top of my head. Absolutely not. I read it off a piece of paper. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on the next one.